And welcome back. Our last guest is an award-winning actress, writer, producer, director, and dancer. Yes, she does a whole lot. She does more. And she's the founder of M.A.A.T Films Incorporated. She joins us to speak about her film production company and to spotlight her new book series, highlighting the importance of grandfathers. We're going to hear it right now. Please welcome Nadhege. How are you?
I'm fine, Bob. How are you?
Good. So
You and
good
I
to
can,
see you.
yeah, you and I
Yeah.
can see. We're always meeting.
I know. Brings back a lot of memories, though, because I got a lot of pictures and stuff and little video clips that we took when we did the last project that we worked
That's
on.
awesome.
And you came on just like this. And at the end, I said, hey, I have my SAG card. And then you said, okay, bet. All right, we'll find out, what we can do with that. And then you gave me that call to come in to play that bar customer.
Didn't I keep my word?
You did. You did. You're a
Remember
woman
you
of your
said, "Oh,
word.
I want a part." I said, "Do it," and
Yeah.
I have a part for you. Hey, you called it into existence, so that's the
Yeah.
power of.
All right, so let's talk about the sequel now.
Hmm.
No, no,
Well, Paris Blues in Harlem, the film which you were a part of and you are
uh,
aware of. Now I did a book. I wrote a book.
uh,
Because I wanted the younger audience to understand the significance of Samuel Hargris, right? Because he was more than just an entrepreneur. He was
yeah,
more than just a business owner. He was a humanitarian, and he was also someone who was really big on giving back to the community.
yeah.
And I was in the process of trademarking Paris Blues in Harlem. And the attorney advised me, hey, if you're going to trademark just the film, think about other categories so you don't have to
Oh,
make that
yeah.
expense later on in the pipeline. So I included books, I included a whole bunch of things. And then it was time to meet the deliverables.
Yeah.
And I said, what am I going to write? Because I already did the expense of really the title, because
Yeah.
unfortunately there is a film out there with a similar name. And
Wow.
my film was there first, yes.
Yeah.
And they filmed in Paris Blues, and my paraphernalias were in Paris Blues.
Yeah.
And I was actually there when the other filmmaker was filming, and Samuel Hargris even introduced us. He let her know about my film. So one word that was changed, and it's very similar to my title. So it's creating confusion out there.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And so
But
I said, it's time to trademark, right?
that's right. That's right. But did you take
I
a lot of the script that you had and include it into the book? Because you had this.
no, what
That.
I did was, because it's a children's book,
Oh,
and
okay.
I scaled back Paris. I scaled her back to a 5-year old. And what, because I played Paris and she was older. And I said, it'd be great for a younger audience to know about the history of Paris
Uh
blues.
huh.
And you're a person who's strong about history. And I wanted them to understand the relationship between Paris and Papa. So it birthed these books because I needed to meet my deliverables, right?
Yes.
And then I said, oh, wow, this would be great for the audience to understand, because I did never met my grandfather. I probably met on my father's side one time. My family is from Haiti, which people call Haiti, right?
Yeah.
When I was there, I remember being introduced, but I was like 3 years old when I was when I was at the in the island at that time. And I don't remember him. And but on my mother's side, I knew nothing. So it was a void, never
Yeah.
really understanding having a grandfather in my life. And my parents separated. So that void, I needed to fill that void. And asking my grandmother about my grandfather, she was more interested in watching Jeopardy. And I was like, but you don't understand what they're
Yeah,
saying.
sometimes they don't want to talk about,
They
family
don't want
history.
to talk.
I ran
Yes,
through the same thing. I wanted to know where everybody came from. And they say, oh, no, well, and they didn't want to take the swab, so you can check out. They were like,
no,
wait, what is this guy trying to do?
my grandmother literally looked at me and she went right back to Jeopardy. But I said, Grandma, you don't even understand what they're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah,
I want to know about my grandfather,
yeah.
not knowing it was a trigger, right? Because this is a silent generation and no one wants to talk about anything. She
But
would
that
just say,
why is that happens with a lot of
because of
families?
trauma. She would just say he's a mulatto. That says nothing about my grandfather.
Yeah.
And my grandmother was very color conscious because she's a beautiful dark skinned woman, right? And she would mention his hair and color. So there was some
And it seems like they
colorism.
were conditioned to be that way back then because they used to process their hair and all that stuff and try to change the color of their skin. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was just a way of life, so that it can make things a little easier on you navigating through the system at the time.
But yeah, she'll just say he's mulatto, and I'm like, well, what does that say about him?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I asked. I was probably the only person in the family asking and wanting to know. And we have a document from 1775 which shows my great great grandmother being sold by her uncle
Yeah.
to my great great grandfather, who's Belgium, right, from Belgium, and the
Wow.
revolution is happening at that time, right?
Wow.
The revolution is the revolt is happening at that time.
All that's in
And
the
here's
book? That's in the book?
the contract, because they put the year, and they put she was third. They say 16, I say 13. He was 38. That's
Uh,
pedophilia right there. And
yeah.
then it in details it showed that there were donkeys donated, silver spoons, other slaves.
Yeah.
That's happening between my great great whatever great in 1775, and that's the
Yeah,
story
yeah.
I know so far, and there are other documents. And I said I would love to know about my grandfather. So
Yeah.
3 years ago, I finally got a picture.
You got
My
it
mom,
done.
yeah, my mom had to wait for her cousin to transition because she's not talking to anybody
Yeah.
in order to get a picture of her father for me to see. And when
Oh,
I saw
wow.
the picture, I
Yeah.
was stunned. So now I'm having difficulty to just get his birth certificate. Nobody
Yeah.
knows his birth.
Yeah. Well,
So
how important is that for grandparents, especially grandfathers, to be present in their kids' lives?
I felt if I had at least my grandfather, I could have avoided some relationship mistakes.
Ah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, fathers fathers are so important in a girl's confidence. Fathers are important in showing what safety is. It's
Yeah.
about protection, right? And when you don't have your father in your life, if you have your grandfather, this is somebody who gets to teach you wisdom because he gets to do it again
Yeah. Yeah.
and talk about the mistakes. And
Yeah.
it's very important because it makes young girls very vulnerable to predators.
Yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
how impactful was your relationship with Samuel Hallgrass Jr. in
it was very,
shaping who you are today?
he gave me confidence because when I was fundraising for the film, because I said, I'm going to do a story about you.
Uh-huh.
Because we met during a fundraising, and there were times I'm like, I don't know if I could do this because I was facing a lot of obstacles just to fundraise. And he said, a winner never quits, a quitter never wins.
Ah.
Life is about solving problems.
Uh-huh.
He showed me how to stay motivated regardless of the obstacles.
And that's
And
what you were missing in your life.
yes, and the affirmation that you can do it
Uh-huh.
because it's logic, right? Masculine energy is logic.
Yeah.
So he helped me to get out of my emotions and say, oh, let's
Yeah.
think logically and let's solve this problem because it can be solved no matter where you are, no matter where your
Yeah.
circumstances. It
I
was
got
just full of
Yeah,
positive
yeah, I
affirmations.
know, and it's beautiful that you're coming and stepping up, and that you help. That he helped you realize that connection, and that you wanted that, you're looking for it, and you received it, and you want more. But
He believed in me
yeah,
because I went into his establishment fundraising for my first film.
yeah,
The man didn't think now 2 seconds, took $250 out of his pocket gave it to me and said, "You go on, Miss Hollywood."
Yeah, I'm glad he did that too, because that helps out a lot with the inspiration and everything. But what is the bigger mission for you with these books, and how you hope to make grandfathers great again? And I got 1 minute left.
Okay, make grandfathers great again. It's about grandfathers protecting legs and not looking at legs.
Uh-huh.
It's about it's about getting to that, for grandfathers to be the models for the men generation behind us.
Yeah.
We need to reprogram that, and it starts with grandfathers, because I feel like, men are missing the cultural icon in our community, which is the grandfathers.
Yeah.
So we got to get grandfathers right, and that's the mission. And then for children who have that void, we have grandfathers representatives in the schools, in the communities, in churches. So I'm building this as a program. The book is the
Great.
hook, and then now we're building the programs to get grandfathers to now come back and
Yeah.
and be that problem solver for the community.
Yeah. Can you put that forward, or that piece on your website, so we can continue to make the connection from here to your website, and they can do a follow-up on what you're talking about today? Social
Yes,
media,
yes.
website?
I have to update my website because
Oh, hook it up. Yeah, hook it up.
this is a soft launch that we're having on
Uh-huh.
November 8th at Grandma's Place, which is around the corner from Paris Blues in Harlem. We're actually having grandfathers, representative reading to the children and doing art activity by counting our generation.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
talk about grandfather, great great grandfather. So now
Ah,
that simple activity can go deeper to now wanting to know. So
yeah.
they're gonna just do an activity, but and the grandfathers are going. I have grandfathers
Great.
representative who will be reading the story and participating in the
Beautiful.
art
So
activity.
so we want to turn the page from here, this show, to your website,
Yes.
and that continuation will be right there. That website is what?
My website is www.maatfilms.net, and films with an S.
Say it again.
www.maat, M-A-A-T, films, FILMS.net. And just sign on, because I'm going to start, building a community, because we're going to have the community on TikTok. Paris
Yeah,
and
we
Pop.
want to see more. Nadhege. There she is,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. Multidisciplinary artist and founder of M.A.A.T, Matt Films. Thank you so much for
Maat
coming on.
Films. Maat Films.
Mahat
Maat means
Films.
truth, harmony, law, and justice.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for coming on, my darling.
You're welcome.